Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's July 15th, 2019, which is known as Amazon Prime Day to so many people. And in this video, what I'm going to discuss is why Amazon chose today, July 15th, a Monday of all days, as Amazon Prime Day. In this video, I'm going to introduce the language of Gematria, which is the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. This language originated in Hebrew and Greek languages, where they did not have separate letter and numbering systems. Although we do in English, it turns out that the numbers that lie behind the letters, whether it's the alphabetic order or the reduction or Pythagorean methods using the rules of numerology, when we compare the numeric values of words and phrases to dates on the calendar, we find some incredible alignments, and this video will teach you how some corporations, especially very large ones, are aware of this language of Gematria and use it accordingly. Now I'm going to start with a little bit of a lesson about prime numbers and really the basis of this language and how it's centered around the numbers 47, 74, and why that tends to be the case. Now, in the language of Gematria, the word time has a value of 47, T the 20th letter, I the 9th, M the 13th, and E the 5th. You add them together, you get 47. 47 is an important number to the Earth. Because there are 23.5 degrees between the equator and both the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, this means that the sun travels 47 degrees along the equator. We're also going to use the numerology of a famous secret society and explain how they attribute this number 47. To the Freemasons, there's a significant equation or math problem called the 47th problem of Euclid, or the 47th proposition of Euclid. And what this is about establishing foundation. In fact, the Freemason compass is set to exactly 47 degrees. On the top of the compass sits something called the pole star, which equals 47. Of course, the compass is used to draw the circle, which equals 47. Now let's talk about prime numbers. 47 is a prime number. It's the 15th prime number. And think about how in our English alphabet, the 15th letter is the letter O, which is, of course, a circle. So we talked about the 47th problem of Euclid, which establishes foundation. In the language of Gematria, the word foundation equals 47. The word framework, also with this value. This extends into the current lexicon. Authority equals 47, and it's our government which claims authority over us. That sums to 47. In our government, you can choose from either a Republican, which equals 47, or a Democrat, which equals 47. And certainly at the national and big state levels, you're choosing from really one and the same. Now, 4 and 7 has a special relationship. That's because not only is 47 a prime number, but the number 7 is the 4th prime number. This language of letters and numbers is called Simple English Gematria. It's simple because you're simply using the alphabetic order. The word simple sums to 74. English equals 74, and so does the word Gematria, 74. When looking at biblical numerology, I, on this channel, focus on the King James Version because that's what the Masonic Bible is. And in the New Testament, we have the story of Jesus, which sums to 74. He dies on the cross, sums to 74. They called him the Messiah. His story was told in the gospel in the form of parables. And isn't it interesting that this 74, if you look at the reverse alphabetic order, the word fourth equals 74. So does the word prime 74. And of course, 7 is the fourth prime. And I contend that this numerology is no mistake, that indeed our entire language was coded this way. And when you pay attention to what organizations and companies like Amazon are doing, you realize that this seems to be the case at a high level among the wealthy classes as well. So here we're talking about Prime Day. There's a couple other ciphers I teach on this channel, in addition to these base 4, which I showed earlier. This would be the English extended method, which is still the alphabetic order, but notice how it increases the values instead of reducing them. This is exactly what the Greek isopsephy and Hebrew gematria charts do. The Jewish cipher, perhaps the most significant outside the alphabetic order, is based in the Latin alphabet. And Latin, obviously, significant language, the basis of most European and Western languages. So this is also very significant. Now, when we type in Prime Day, we get a host of numbers here in these ciphers, but only one of them is actually a prime number. That would be the number 919. And check it out. 919 is the 157th prime number. Well, this ties directly to today's date. July 15th, internationally, in most parts of the world, is written 15/7. So how appropriate that Amazon chooses the 15th of July for Prime Day. But of course, it's never just one alignment. There's always many alignments. Check out how June 15th in the alphabetic order, or July 15th, which is the month we're actually in, sums to 161 in ordinal. Amazon Prime Day sums to 161 in that same exact method. Today's date, 7 plus 15 plus 20 plus 19, provides us numerology of 61. Today's life lesson number is 34. And in Gematria, the word prime sums to 61 in the alphabetic order and 34 in reduction. Next, we'll look at the Gematria of Prime Day using the alphabetic order. Here we see a value of 91. Now, 91 is not a prime number. However, it is a triangular number, which means if you add every number 1 through 13, you arrive at a sum of 91. In fact, there are also 91 days in 13 weeks. So the number 13 seems to be significant here as well. We're going to look at Amazon, the company, the date on which they were established, which was July 5th, 1994. If you measure from that date to the date of today's Prime Day, you find that today is 1 week and 3 days after their anniversary. Also on this channel, I talk about the significance of total solar eclipses. These rare events, which occur approximately 7 times a decade, appear to be the signature time, or the time at which most events in the media are related to. And Prime Day this year falls 13 days after the 2019 total solar eclipse. The 13th prime number is 41, which is the gematria of Jeff Bezos. See how 41 is the 13th prime? But here's the real kicker, guys. 13 is also a prime number, the 6th prime number. And on the date of Amazon Prime Day, this company is exactly 1,306 weeks old. So how perfect. There's a prime relationship directly in the company's age. And in fact, when we talk about this event being related to the total solar eclipse, I just want to point out that Jeff Bezos, in English extended, sums to 994, which is the same as total solar eclipse. So no, I'm not just picking random things and measuring to them. I do the same thing in every video. So next we'll look at Jeff Bezos' numerology. We begin with the fact that this man was born in 64. This is interesting because Bezos, who was born on January 12th, is a span of exactly 6 months and 4 days after his birthday today. Today's date, July 15th, also sums to 64. And seeing as it's prime day, let's look at the 64th prime number, which is 311. If you, again, measure to the date that Amazon was established, notice how they're also exactly 300 months and 11 days old, like 311, the 64th prime number. So we even see a prime alignment to the age of Jeff Bezos as well. And isn't it interesting that Jeff Bezos changed his name from Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen? It doesn't make sense. Was he embarrassed by this name? You know, maybe someone has a better answer for me. But I want to point out that the name Jeff Bezos equals 94. And Amazon was founded in the year 94. So all of this is good and well. Companies are certainly allowed to practice numerology if they believe that it helps earn favors from the gods, which I think may be the real cause of this and why these people are so intent on doing things by the numbers. By the way, Jeff Bezos also 1264 in Jewish gematria. Just want to point that out. But there's another side to this. It's that whenever we see these numeric rituals, whether it's corporations or some kind of random news story, we quite often also see the death of someone whose numerology is closely related. Here, the day before Prime Day, we get the death of a boxer whose nickname is Sweet Pea, which is in quotations here in the headline. Sweet Pea Whitaker. And notice how Sweet Pea has the same gematria as Jeff Bezos, 94. So this is where it gets, I guess you could say, creepy or weird. Now, what stands out about the numerology of Pernell Whitaker is that he was born on January 2nd, 1964. And Jeff Bezos was born on January 12th, 1964. So they were only born 10 days apart, which is kind of what brought me to these connections in the first place. This man died at the age of 55, which could be a nod to the sacrifice code. This word does have 55 gematria in single reduction. But what I want to point out is how the word boxer equals 64 in ordinal. Both he and Jeff Bezos, born in the year 64, a number which, as I mentioned, applies to Bezos' numerology on Prime Day. Also, the word boxing gives us a numeric value of 91 in reverse, which is, as we mentioned, the ordinal value of Prime Day. But what really gives this ritual away is the gematria of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, just as his name is listed in this headline. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. And check out the Jewish gematria. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker equals 2,509. Well, on the date that he died, which was yesterday, July 14th, Amazon was exactly 25 years and 9 days old, established on July 5th of 94. So how odd is that this number appears right there in the numerology of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker? If we open up English Extended Gematria, we get this very interesting number of 1,999. This number stands out because it has that upside down 666. If you measure from both Jeff Bezos' birthday, say that 10 times fast, we find that he's 666 months old. And this means Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, also 666 months old. Sweet Pea was killed in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Notice how in reverse reduction, here we see Virginia Beach, Virginia. In reverse reduction, this sums to 94. As we mentioned, both Jeff Bezos and Sweet Pea equals 94. Notice how Sweet Pea also shares 41 gematria with Jeff Bezos, the 13th prime number. His last name, Whitaker, also 41. As for the 31 gematria for Sweet Pea, when he died, Amazon was 300 months and 10 days old. If you don't include the end date, on Prime Day, they're also 300 months and 10 days old. The name Bezos with 31 gematria in single reduction. So these men have several numeric connections. Virginia Beach equals 80 or 108 in ordinal. This matches the gematria of 55, the age at which Whitaker was. If you abbreviate Virginia Beach, Virginia, you get an ordinal value of 131. That's interesting because Amazon Prime equals 131. But if you write out the entire name of the city, Virginia Beach, Virginia, notice how it sums to 125 and 136. Amazon was founded on a date with 125 numerology. In fact, Prime Day equals 125 in the reverse alphabetic order. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker equals 125 in reverse. Now, Virginia Beach, Virginia equals 136 in reverse. Remember how 13 is the 6th prime number? And on today's date, Amazon is exactly 1,306 weeks old. Today's date, July 15th. Remember, this can be written 15/7. This was the death of an Olympic boxer, which equals 157. This is a prime number, the 37th prime number. So how appropriate that this Olympic boxer died in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which equals 370. Also, Olympic gold medalist boxer, 370 in that same method. Next, we'll look at Pernell Whitaker's age on the date he died. Born January 2nd of 64. Meaning that on the date of his death, he was 193 days after his birthday. 193 is the 44th prime number. And 44 is the English gematria of the word kill, using the alphabetic order. Also, if you measure to his next birthday, you get 24 weeks and 4 days. And 244 is the Hebrew value of kill. So there you have it, a clear example of how corporations practicing numerology, as clear as day, using the same exact calculation methods I use in every single one of my videos. Then the speculative, perhaps conspiratorial part is the question of whether or not this man was murdered by the numbers. Did he even die? Was his death natural? I mean, I would lean towards a hoax, but again, all I can do is run the numbers and show you these incredible alignments. They're definitely related. It's just a matter of figuring out what's really going on. So if anyone has any information on this guy's death, feel free to reach out, because we're all trying to get closer to the truth and figuring out what's really going on, because we understand that at the top, certainly some shenanigans going down with the wealthy class. So thanks to everybody who jumped in on the live chat and contributed a little bit here. Much appreciated. Be doing one more live stream in a little bit tonight, so we'll see you guys in a little while. Peace, love, and God bless. Adios.